Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Clash of Champions pay-per-view results and pre-show. Triple threat for the Cruiserweight title with your first match, Liz Dorado versus Humberto Carrillo versus Drew Gulak. Back as they started off the pre-show with a commercial. And we got Vic Joseph welcoming us to ringside as we see fans still filing into the area. Vic is joined by Aiden English and Dino Madden, his debut. They hyped the show and the triple threat, and out comes Dorado as fans dance the Lucha House Party theme. Carrillo was out next, followed by Cruiserweight Champion Drew Gulak. Bell rings, and we get formal ring introductions from Greg Hamilton. Bell rings, and Gulak goes to work. Carrillo gets dropped, and Gulak goes for a 1 count on Dorado. They all back and going at it. Gulak gets sent to the floor. Dorado and Carrillo run the ropes on each other. Gulak pulls Carrillo out and rocks him. Dorado ends up leaping from the top, splashing both opponents on the floor at the same time. Dorado then leaps from the top of the barrier with a big floor hurricane to Gulak. Dorado rocks Carrillo and brings him back in. Lance goes to the top, but Gulak shoves him off. Dorado hits the top rope and then the floor. Gulak goes at it with Carrillo in the ring. Carrillo with a crossbody from the corner for a 2 count. Carrillo then works on the arm and controls Gulak. Carrillo goes to the top, but Gulak yanks him to the mat for another 2 count. Gulak keeps Carrillo grounded. More back and forth between all three. Carrillo gets sent back out. Gulak goes to work on Dorado and then catches him in midair. Gulak with a gut buster for a 2 count and keeps control of Dorado grounded in the middle of the ring again. Dorado then takes Gulak with a back kick. Carrillo takes Lance out and then goes back to work on Gulak. Carrillo with a drop kick to Gulak. Then Carrillo with a basement drop kick and a moonsault for another pin attempt on Gulak. Carrillo then keeps control and drop kicks Gulak out of the ring. Dorado runs in, but gets sent to the apron and kicked onto Gulak's shoulders on the floor. Carrillo then runs the ropes and leaps, taking down Dorado off Gulak's shoulders, sending all three to the floor for a pop from the crowd. Fan chant, "This is awesome" now, as Carrillo brings Dorado in for a missile drop kick. Gulak brings the pin up at 2. Gulak sends Carrillo into the corner and he goes down. Gulak takes Carrillo to the top, but Carrillo knocks him to the mat. They tangle and Carrillo applies a submission. Dorado applies a submission while Carrillo has that one locked. Gulak breaks and sends both down. Gulak with a 2 count on Dorado. More back and forth and pin attempts between everyone. They trade big strikes now as Gulak drops Carrillo with a huge clothesline and the fans cheer them on. They're all down again. Dorado rocks Carrillo back into the corner and unloads. Carrillo turns it around with a chop to the chest. Dorado takes Carrillo to the top, but Gulak comes from behind. Gulak drops Dorado and climbs up top himself. Humberto sends him back down to the mat. Dorado launches up, drop kicks Carrillo off of Gulak's push. Then Gulak gets dropped by Dorado. Dorado climbs up and launches Carrillo to the mat with a super hurricane. Dorado goes to the top for a shooting star press, but Carrillo moved out of the way. Carrillo then dropped Lance with a kick to the head. Carrillo hits the Aztec press from the corner on Dorado, but Gulak sends him into the ring post, and he's going for the pin and rolls Dorado up to retain, stealing the win. After the match, Gulak stands tall and raises the title to go to the music playing. We go to the panel. Coach leads us to a video package for tonight's SmackDown Women's title match. Sarah Schreiber backstage with champion Bayley and Sasha. Banks and Bayley joke around, mocking Schreiber. Banks says they're going home with all the gold, and we can bank on that. Commercial break. Match number 2 for the pre-show U.S. title match. Cedric Alexander versus AJ Styles. Back to the ring, Michael Cole welcomes us to ringside. He's chimed in by Corey Graves and Renee Young. Out first comes the challenger, hometown star Cedric Alexander with his mama in ringside. The OC was out next. All three of them was AJ with Luke and Carl. Gallows and Anderson walk AJ to the ring, but they hit to the back. By instructions by AJ. Bell rings and we get former ring introductions from Mike Rome. Cedric gets a big hometown pop for the Charlotte sellout, supposedly. And the bell rings and Cedric immediately catches AJ with a big Michinoku driver for a close 2 count out of nowhere. AJ and Cedric are both shocked. AJ rolls out, but Cedric flies and takes him down. Cedric brings it back in and hits him a big kick to the head for another close 2 count. Cedric kicks AJ in the head from the apron and drops him. Cedric then springboards up, but AJ pushes him off the top rope, down on the apron. AJ goes to the apron and drops Cedric's neck on the apron with a big stiff suplex. AJ grabs Cedric for a Styles Clash on the floor and he nails it. AJ brings it back in the ring, covers but stops the pin attempt at the 2 count. AJ isn't done. AJ keeps control and drops Cedric over his knee. Cedric fights back, but AJ drops him. They tangle on the mat, but AJ applies a submission as Cedric goes for the bottom rope. Cedric breaks the hold. AJ works Cedric over while he's down. AJ smiles and keeps kicking Cedric back down. Focusing him on his leg, Cedric gets up on the apron and catches the kick. Cedric in with a back elbow, stunning AJ back. Cedric comes through the ropes and plants AJ face first for a 2 count. AJ catches Cedric with a big reverse DDT. AJ goes back to the apron, waits for Cedric to get up. AJ springboards up and nails a phenomenal forearm. AJ goes for the Styles Clash and hits it in the middle of the ring. AJ covers with a pin and retains. After the match, AJ takes the title as his music hits, but he goes right back to work on Cedric while he's down. Luke and Carl come running back to making a triple team on Cedric. The OC stands tall and poses over Cedric with a 2 sweet. And AJ's music starts back up as the OC heads back up the ramp. We go to the panel and Charlie plugs the WWE Network. She also reveals that the Raw Tag Team titles match will open the Clash pay-per-view. Panel discusses tonight's Universal title match. And we see Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman walking backstage. And that's it for the kickoff show. 2019 Clash of Champions pay-per-view kicks off with a video package. Live from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. As Michael Cole welcomes us to the show, chiming in with Corey Graves and Renee Young. Our Raw Tag Team title match, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. We go to the ring. Out first comes Raw Tag Team Champions Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins. Rollins comes out first, wearing his WWE Universal title and raising the Raw Tag Team title. Rollins heads to the ring as the fans pop. Strowman is out next, and he's ready to go on the same page as Rollins ahead of their match later on. Dolph is out first for his team. Robert Roode was out next, and they head to the ring together. Coleslaw introduces the Spanish and German announce team at ringside. Bell rings, and we get former ring instructions from Mike Rome. Strowman starts off with Roode as they stare each other down. Roode looks a bit worried as they get these handshakes from the crowd. Starts up. Strowman overpowers Roode to start and sends him down. Roode looks on from the corner. Roode goes for a headlock, but Strowman overpowers again. Strowman stares at him and talks some trash as Roode talks it over with Ziggler in the corner. Ziggler tags in, and Roode comes from behind. Strowman turns to Roode, and Ziggler tries to capitalize. Strategy backfires as Strowman drops both of them. Strowman with a running splash to Ziggler in the corner. Rollins tags in, and Strowman whips him into Ziggler in the corner. Strowman comes right back and levels Ziggler with a shoulder. Rollins covers Ziggler for a 2 count. Roode and Ziggler end up double teaming Rollins, but it backfires. Rollins fights them both off as Roode comes from behind and sends Rollins to the floor. Ziggler ends up dropping Rollins with a big DDT on the floor. Strowman comes over on the outside to make sure Ziggler doesn't attack again. Rude launches Rollins into the barrier now. Rude brings it back in to the ring for a 2 count. Rude unloads on Rollins and holds him as Ziggler comes in and nails him. Ziggler keeps Rollins down in the middle of the ring as a legal man now. Ziggler comes back and hits the Famouser on Rollins, but he kicks out at 2. Rude keeps control with another big shot. Rude and Ziggler take turns on keeping Rollins down as Strowman looks on. Rude shows off on the second rope and misses on the way down. Rollins with a blockbuster for a pop. Strowman reaches for a tag. Ziggler tags in and stops Rollins from tagging. Rollins catches Ziggler for a buckle bomb, but it's blocked at 2 count. Ziggler goes for another sleeper hold attempt. Rollins goes down some and starts to fade. Ziggler stands Rollins and taunts Strowman. Rollins misses, but finally gets a tag. Strowman finally tags in and unloads, running wild on everyone. Strowman runs around the ring and runs right over both opponents on the outside with shoulder blocks. Strowman brings Ziggler in and splashes him in the corner. Strowman goes to slam Ziggler, but takes a right to the eyes. Strowman runs into the ring post, then a super kick from Ziggler. Rude blocks a glorious DDT and slams Rude. Rollins tags and hits a flying knee, then a super kick to Rude. More back and forth, but Rollins with a sling blade and a suicide dive. More back and forth and counters. Rollins comes back in on Rude, but misses. Then takes a spine buster from Rude. And Rude covers for a 2 count. Rude shows off some as fans move. He calls for the glorious DDT, but Strowman runs over him, also sending Rollins down as he nailed Rude. And Rude clearly just turns himself around and runs over him, kind of pushes Rollins down. Strowman gets set down as well. Rude takes advantage of the chaos, then does the glorious DDT and covers Rollins for the pin, and new tag team champions, Rude and Ziggler. After the match, Rude and Ziggler take their titles and celebrate on the outside as Rude's music hits. Strowman is upset, perhaps at himself. He can't believe what happened. We go to replays. Rude and Ziggler celebrate from the stage as Rollins stares at Strowman from the mat. Strowman looks at Rollins and shakes his head, then exits the ring to head to the back. Rollins leaves shortly after. We go to replays again. Back for the break, Charlie stops Rollins backstage. He blames the loss on Seth Rollins and says it will be just like Rollins is going to lose his other title tonight. Strowman says Rollins is on a losing streak, and he will make sure it stays that way when Rollins gets his hands tonight. Back from another break, Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch is with Kayla Braxton. She disagrees with Braun Strowman's comments on Rollins losing again. She addresses Sasha Banks' comments from the pre-show. Becky says she's had all this success and the greatest 12-month run in WWE history, but all Banks did was dye her hair. She goes on about how she's earned success, but all Banks has earned is this beating she will get tonight. Get a video package for the next match. SmackDown Women's title match, Charlotte versus Bayley. We go to the ring, and we got Tom Phillips welcoming us. He's chimed in by Byron Saxton and Corey Graves for this match. Charlotte was out first to a big hometown pop. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley was out next. Bell rings, and we get former ring introductions from Greg Hamilton. Fans are booing Bayley during her entrance and the introductions. The bell rings, and Flair immediately levels Bayley with a running big boot for a 2 count. Bayley goes right to the floor for a breather. Flair smiles and taunts her from the ring. Flair chases Bayley back in the ring and goes to work with chops. Bayley counters the move and slams Flair by her hair. Bayley with more offense until Flair slams her back to the mat for a 2 count. They go back to the floor and Flair launches Bayley into the barrier. And again, Flair brings it back in for a 2 count. Flair focuses on the leg and the knee. The referee gets in between. Bayley ends up pulling the turnbuckle pad down while the referee is busy with Flair. Flair finishes with the referee and goes to Bayley, but Bayley pulls her down into the exposed turnbuckle, immediately covered for the quick win, for the quick finish out of nowhere. After the match, Bayley runs right to the ringside, grabs her title, then runs away to the back in a hurry as the music plays. We go to replays while Flair is down. A disappointed Flair heads to the back while the fans are still surprised at the quick match and finish. Tom shows us the video of what just happened. What happened with Shane McMahon firing Kevin Owens from SmackDown. SmackDown Tag Team Titles match with the Revival versus New Day. We go to the ring. Out first comes the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. The boos and cheers from North Carolina home state crowd. SmackDown Tag Team Champions Big E and Xavier Woods come out next. The bell rings. They get formal ring introductions from Hamilton again. Bell rings and Woods starts over Dash. Dash goes for a knee, but Woods gets the upper hand. Dawson comes from the apron, but Woods rocks him back as well. Big E ends up running over Dawson on the floor with a big clothesline. Woods chops Dash in the ring. Woods keeps control of Dawson. Big E comes in and Woods whips Dash into a big urinagic. Big E then covers for a 2 count. Big E then unloads on Dash with forearms as the fans do dueling chants. Dawson knocks Woods off the apron, leading to Dawson nailing a big clothesline to Big E from the apron. Woods is still down on the floor as Dawson brings Big E into the ring for a close 2 count. Dawson then tags in for a double team on Big E in the corner. Dawson with a 2 count. Dawson keeps Big E down and tags in Dash for some double teaming. Dash with a 2 count on Big E. Dawson keeps control, but Big E stops a tag with strikes. Big E then gets back to the corner. Double teamed by the Revival as fans boo. Dawson taunts Big E and drops him with an elbow. We see Woods still down on the outside. Dawson with an elbow to the face, another pin attempt. Dawson kicks Big E down with body scissors. Fans are rallying for Big E as he powers up with Dawson on his back. Dawson sends Big E into the turnbuckle face first. Dawson with an uppercut in the corner, then stomps. Big E counters a whip and sends Dawson hard into the corner. He goes down. We see Woods getting up on the outside. Dash tags in, but eats a belly-to-belly from Big E. Woods finally gets the hot tag for a big pop. Woods unloads on both opponents and hits the honor roll to Dawson. Woods keeps control and hits a huge DDT on Dawson out of the corner, but Dash breaks the pin with a shot to the knee off the top. Big E goes to the nail and spear to the floor from the apron, but he lands on the floor by himself. Dash leaps out, but he gets caught in midair. They tangle, and this leads to a Revival hitting Chatter Machine to Big E on the floor. Fan chat, this is awesome now. Dawson returns to the ring, tags in Dash. As Woods stares him down, they attack and he fights with him. Dash takes out Woods' knee and he screams in pain. Woods tries to fight both opponents, but they mock him and nail another Shatter Machine. Referee is trying to get Dash out of the ring. It finally does. Revival seems more interested in hurting Woods' knee some more. They take his brace off, and Dawson applies a submission in the middle of the ring. Referee checks on Woods, but he's crawling for the bottom rope, and his fans try to rally. Big E is still down on the outside. Dawson stares at Woods in the face as he goes for the rope. Woods holds on, but finally taps out as Dawson tightens the hold. Winner and new tag team champions, the Revival. After the match, Dash and Dawson take the titles and celebrate as the music plays. Woods rolls to the floor and clutches his knee in pain as he falls trying to get back up. We're going to replays. Revival takes the mic on the stage to say the WWE Universe are welcome because finally the titles are no longer coated in the proverbial pancake batter. Fans can now consider themselves revived. They go on and say, finally, the old school has quieted the new school noise, and there will be no more stupid trombone. They say later tonight we'll get an even bigger treat as Kofi Kingston loses the WWE title to Randy Orton, who will extinguish his flame. The Revival says it will finally be a new day. Charlie Cruz from backstage with Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, the women's tag team champions, to talk about their title defense. They're interrupted by Carmella and 24/7 champion R-Truth, disguised as a camera and sound guy. This leads to Bliss announcing that Truth is on set. If anyone wants to come get them. Here comes a group of superstars chasing Truth and Carmella away to end the segment. Women's title match. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus Alexa and Nikki. We're going to ring out first. Comes Sonya and Mandy. Women's tag team champions Nikki Cross and Alexa were out next. We get formal ring introductions from Greg Hamilton. Rose and Cross start things off. Rose slams Cross first. Rose shows off some, but Cross comes right back with a clothesline. Cross dances around like Rose and shakes her hips for a big pop. Who does she think she is? Val Venus? Cross with a basement dropkick. Devil tags in. They tangle and in comes Bliss with a snap suplex for a close 2 count. Bliss and Rose eventually come back in and Bliss slaps Rose. Rose is furious. Bliss catches a shite and drops her with another right hand. Bliss with knees and a moonsault for another 2 count. Superstars come down to the ring chasing 24/7 champion R-Truth and Carmella now. Bliss comes from behind and rolls Truth up for a 2 count. Carmella runs away with Truth on her back as Superstars chase them. Bliss has Rose in the hole. Rose slides out and they tangle. Deville tags in and drops Bliss with a huge kick for a 2 count. Deville keeps Bliss grounded and talks some trash. Now the fans try to rally. Deville slams Bliss back to the mat. Rose and Deville more offense and quick tags, keeping Bliss near the corner. Rose suplexes Bliss and Deville follows up with a running knee for a 2 count. Rose unloads on Bliss in the corner. Now the fans try to rally. Bliss with a roll up out of nowhere. Rose talks trash and swings, but Bliss ducks. Both connect. Both go down the middle of the ring. Deville and Cross tag in, and Cross unloads. Cross goes to work on Deville and hits a running bulldog from the corner. Rose runs in, but Cross sends her to the floor. Cross slams Deville with a back suplex. Cross gets hyped up for a pop from the crowd. Cross goes to the top and nails Cross body on Deville for a 2 count. Cross and Rose end up down on the outside. Deville slams Bliss from the top rope. Rose and Deville with a big double team on Bliss, but Cross breaks the pin just in time for another pop. Cross tags in and goes up top. Leaps at Rose and rolls through, but knocks Deville off the apron. Rose misses a knee on Cross. Cross with a neck breaker from the top rope to Rose. Covers to retain. After match, Cross music plays, and she takes the title to Bliss at ringside as she recovers and celebrates. We go to replays. Rose and Deville look back on from the ring as Bliss music hits, and the champions back up the ramp. Back for the break. Tom Phillips plugs Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month and WWE's 2019 campaign. The announcers go over 2 matches on the kickoff pre-show. Cruiserweight champion Drew Gulak retaining over Les Dorado Humberto Carrillo, plus WWE U.S. champion AJ retaining over Cedric Alexander. Intercontinental title match, Miz versus Shinsuke Nakamura. We're going to ring out first comes the Miz. Tom shows us some of the international announce teams in the arena at their own tables. Sami Zayn was out next wearing a neck brace. Fans boo as Sami calls for his music to be cut. Sami is disgusted with the disrespect fans have shown him, as he did with The Undertaker when he choked Sami in the middle of Madison Square Garden. Sami says he suffered a neck injury. Fans cheer the injury. Sami says he is still here to support the man he liberated. Sami goes on hyping up the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Shinsuke Nakamura, and out he comes. Tom shows us a replay of Sami and Undertaker from SmackDown. We get formal ring introductions from Hamilton. They lock up and go at it. Sami starts obnoxiously calling the match on the mic as the fans boo him. They finally cut Sami's mic as Miz fights out of the corner with chops to Nakamura. Miz drops Nakamura with a knee and hits a running boot to the face for a 2 count. Miz takes Nakamura to the back to the corner and works him over. Miz mocks Nakamura and ends up dropping him on the outside. Sami gets involved at ringside, leading to Nakamura dropping Miz off the distraction. Nakamura works Miz over on the apron and brings him back into the ring for the yes kicks. Nakamura with kicks himself while Miz is on his knees. Miz ducks and drops Nakamura. Miz takes out Nakamura's leg from the corner. Miz turns around and unloads with kicks in the corner. The yes kicks from the crowd as they're joining in, and then a running knee, and then another running knee. Miz charges in with a clothesline. Nakamura goes down. Miz climbs to the top for a big pop. Miz with a double axe handle and a close 2 count as they come off the top rope. And drops Nakamura with a big DDT for a close 2 count. As he also went for the figure 4 in the middle of the ring. But Nakamura turned it into an armbar. Miz with more yes kicks now. Nakamura ducks a kick and rolls Miz up for a 2 count. Nakamura avoids the skull crush finale. Rocks Miz into the corner with a back elbow. And Sammy last from ringside. Nakamura with a kick to the head and a big snap jumper suplex at the apron. Nakamura then stops away in the corner now. Nakamura drops Miz on his face. Nakamura shows off something and waits in the corner for Miz to recover. Miz blocks a Kasasha. Miz with another shot to the left leg. Miz goes for the figure 4 and locks it in for a pop in Flair country. Miz tightens the hold as fans pop. Nakamura finally grabs the ropes to break the hold. Miz goes for another figure 4, but Nakamura rolls him up for a 2 count. Miz in more strikes. Sammy grabs Miz's leg while the referee isn't looking. Nakamura takes advantage with a running knee to the back of the neck. Nakamura gets a 2 count of that. Then Nakamura waits for a Kasasha. Miz ducks and nails the skull crushing finale for a pop. Sammy gets on the apron for a distraction that stops the referee's count to boos. Nakamura rolls to the apron and Miz stares at Sammy. Miz exits the ring, chases Sammy around. Nakamura catches Miz with a big kick to the face at ringside. Nakamura then brings Miz back into the ring and nails the Kasasha for the pin to retain. After the match, Nakamura stands tall as the music hits. Sammy comes in to join as we get replays. Nakamura raises the saddle as the referee checks on Miz at ringside. Sammy hooks Nakamura and hypes him up to the crowd. Back from the break as the announcers plug SmackDown, going to Fox, and the WWE draft in a few weeks. Coleslaw leads us with a video package for the next match. Raw Women's title match, Sasha versus Becky. We go to the ring. Out first comes Sasha Banks. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch was out next. We get former ring introduction from Mike Rome. They meet in the middle of the ring, and Lynch smacks Banks, dropping her and going to work. Lynch keeps control and tosses Banks around. Banks counters the move and tries to take Lynch down to the mat. Lynch goes for the summer early on, but Banks rolls to the floor to regroup for a breather. More back and forth. Lynch baseball slides Banks down to the floor on the outside. Lynch stalks Banks on the outside and leaps off the steel steps to take her back down. Lynch brings Banks back in and kicks her in the face, then rocks her from the apron. Sasha catches Becky coming off the ropes and unloads on her. Banks takes Lynch down and kicks her in the back. Fans do dueling chants. Banks takes it all in and recovers Lynch for a 2 count. Banks keeps control and hits a Meteora after a knee to the nose from the apron. Banks stands tall and talks trash to the crowd for some boos. Lynch interrupts and goes to work. More back and forth now as Banks works Lynch over in the corner and plays to the crowd some more. Banks leaps off the top at Lynch, but she wastes the time as Lynch takes her out of midair. They go to trade more strikes, and Lynch unloads for a pop. Lynch drops Banks in the middle of the ring. Lynch rocks Banks with a knee strike. Lynch charges, but Banks sidesteps, drops Becky into Banks' statement in the middle of the ring. Lynch fights up and out, nailing a exploder suplex. Lynch sends Banks back down and goes to the corner for a second rope leg drop. As fans chant her name, Becky with a 2 count. Lynch talks some trash about this being her time and takes Banks back up top. Banks fights back and hits another big Meteora for a 2 count. Banks screams out in frustration. Banks charges with 2 sets of double knees in the corner, sending Becky back down. Banks then attacks again, but Becky fights off of a Becky statement. She tries for the disarmer, but Banks turns it into a 2 count. Lynch goes right back into the disarmer again in the middle of the ring. Banks struggles and finally gets the hold broken. Lynch with a basement drop kick to the face. But Banks against the bottom rope. Becky goes up top and hits a missile drop kick for a 2 count. Both superstars are down on the mat as Becky thinks about what to do next. Banks rolls to the corner. Lynch approaches and stomps away. Banks ends up nailing a backstabber out of the corner and then another. Sasha with a Banks statement in the middle of the ring. Banks tries to get to the rope, but Banks tightens the hold. The hold is finally broken. Banks slams Becky's arm over the bottom rope. Banks slides a steel chair in the ring. She grabs another while the referee is still dealing with the first and shoves it to Becky's face as she approaches. The referee turns around after Banks uses the chair and counts as she sends Becky back again with a knee strike for a 2 count. Referee stops Banks for swinging in the chair. Referee argues with Sasha. Becky comes from behind and swings the same chair, but Sasha moves, and Lynch drops the referee with a chair shot. This leads to Lynch chasing Banks through the crowd up the stairs. In control, Lynch unloads on the chairs with right hands. Becky with his armor on the stairs in the crowd, and Banks taps as they made it back in the ring. Banks rocks Becky and tries to make it up the stairs, but Becky is still after her. They fight out into the concession area. Becky sends Banks down and pours mustard mustard and cheese onto her. Becky sends Banks into the wall and back out into the crowd. Becky brings Banks back down the stairs to the ringside area, as there's no referee to see a tap out anyway. Banks fights back on the stairs, but Banks turns her back around and brings Banks over the barrier. Banks rounds Becky back to the barrier. The referee is still down in the ring from the chair shot. Banks launches Becky into the barrier again. Graves says that the match is officially over, according to the word he's just received. Winner by DQ, Sasha Banks. And if you don't know, you cannot win the title by disqualification. After the decision, Banks brings Becky back in the ring and brings the steel chair in herself. Banks swings the chair, but Becky kicks her in the gut and drops the chair. Becky grabs the chair and unloads it with chair shots to Banks back while she's down. Becky stands the chair up and slams Banks' face into it several times. Becky then puts Banks' arm through the chair and now applies his armor onto it. Banks screams out in pain as officials hit the ring to break it up. Fans are booing that. The officials check on Banks, but Becky just wants her title before she leaves. She gets it and makes her exit. Rome announces that Becky was disqualified for striking the referee. Fans boo the decision. Rome announces Becky is still the champion, and she raises the title on the stage as the music plays. Banks recovers in the ring as Becky talks trash for the stage. We get a video package for the next match. WWE title match, Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. We go back to the ring. Out comes Randy Orton for a pop. Kofi was out next. Bell rings, and we get former introduction from Hamilton. The bell rings, and they lock up. Orton takes it to the corner. Referee makes a break. Fans are dueling chants before they lock up again. Orton drops Kofi with a shoulder. They size each other up again. They go to lock up. Orton goes behind, and fans rally for Kofi. Kofi counters, and Orton rocks him with a back elbow. Orton with a headlock and a takedown. Kofi fights up, but Orton runs over him with a big shoulder. Then poses. They run the ropes, and again, and Kofi hits a back elbow. Kofi with a big forearm smash in the corner, and then another. Orton rolls to the floor for a breather. Orton looks on from the top of the ramp, holding the top of his eye. Kofi mocks Orton. Orton finally makes it back in the ring. More back and forth now. Kofi with another strike into the corner. Orton with a big strike out of the corner. They tangle some more as Orton connects with a thumb to the eye. Orton takes Kofi from the corner to corner with more offense. More back and forth. Orton blasts Kofi off the apron into the barrier. Orton slams Kofi head first into a few of the announce tables. Orton slams Kofi on the top of the barrier. And then back first onto the jumper on the announce table as the referee is counting. Orton slams Kofi back first into the announce table once again. Then brings him back in for a 2 count. Tables are not breaking so far. Kofi gets sent into the corner, but he comes off the second rope with a drop kick. Orton stalls him with the referee, then sends Kofi shoulder first into the ring post. Orton goes to the floor, but Kofi blocks a shot into the ring steps, the steel steps. They tangle and trade shots with Orton, slamming Kofi face first into the steps as the referee counts him. both out. Orton brings it back into the ring for a close 2 count. Kobe blocks a shot and comes out of the corner with a big clothesline. Kobe gets sent to the apron. Kobe springboards in and flies at Orton with a big right hand. Kobe with a big chop to the chest to drop Orton. Kobe with another big chop. A drop kick and more offense. Kobe with a boom drop in the middle of the ring. His fans rally for him again. Orton blocks Trouble in Paradise and drops Kobe into a backbreaker for a 2 count. Orton takes Kobe to the apron for his draping DDT, but Kobe back drops Orton to the floor. Kobe runs the ropes and leaps out, sending Orton into the side of the announce desk. Kobe brings Orton back in the ring. It goes up top. Kobe with a big crossbody, but Orton rolls through for a close 2 count. Orton blocks the SOS and drops Kobe with a drop kick for another 2 count in the middle of the ring. The trade shots in the middle of the ring again. Orton misses the closeout and Kobe drops him with an SOS for another close 2 count. Kobe goes back to the top, but Orton crotches him. More back and forth. Orton takes Kobe to the top for a superplex, but Kobe resisted. Orton has to fight from the mat, rocking Kobe while he sits on the top. Orton climbs back up for a superplex, but Kobe slides out and drops Orton face into the turnbuckle. Snake eyes. Orton catches Kobe with a big power slam out of nowhere. Kobe still kicks out of 2. Orton goes for the second rope draping DDT and nails it this time. Orton stands tall over Kobe, but takes his time. Orton drops down, pounds on the mat as he waits for the Viper to strike. Kobe blocks the RKO and rolls Orton up for a 2 count. Orton runs into a kick to the face. Orton turns around and nails an RKO out of nowhere. Orton covers, but Kobe gets his foot on the bottom rope. Some fans are booing, and Orton can't believe it. Orton drags Kobe to the corner and talks some trash. Orton back up for a punt kick, but Kobe moves out of the way. Kobe ducks the clothesline and hits Trouble in Paradise, and Kobe covers for the pin and the win. To retain. After bell, Kobe takes the title and starts celebrating as a New Day music hits. We go to replays. Kobe poses in the corner. Kobe continues to celebrate and exits with a title. We go backstage to the Street Profits, Montez Ford, and Angelo Dawkins backstage. They talk about the King of the Ring finals taking place on Raw with Chad Gable and Baron Corbin. We got Hall of Famer Booker T entering using the King Booker gimmick and goes to give the royal declaration on the King of the Ring finals. Angelo interrupts him and wants to be knighted. Booker changes his tune and can't believe Dawkins just asked that. Booker tells them they need to get it together. Booker comes back and does a now can you dig that sucker up to the end of the segment. We'll go back to the SmackDown announcers. Tom sent us a video package on tonight's No DQ match. Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan. We'll go to the ring. Out first comes Roman. Eric was out next. Roman charges the ring, but Rowan charges the ring, but Reigns jumps out and meets him at ringside. They fight and bring it in. Bell rings. Reigns mounts Rowan in the corner and no loads for strikes and fans count. Along. Reigns looks to go for a spear, but Rowan drops him with an elbow. Rowan brings him back out and works Reigns over on the outside. Rowan whips Reigns in the barrier and he lands hard. Rowan unloads with more big offense on the outside using the barrier and the announce table. Rowan launches Rowan into the barrier once again. The edge of the steel steps. Rowan charges, but Reigns moves and Rowan hits the steps shoulder first. Rowan grabs half of the steps as Reigns brings the kendo stick from under the ring. Rowan strikes first, launching the steps at Reigns, sending him over the barrier. Rowan with a kendo stick shot into the crowd. Rowan fights Reigns to the crowd, keeping control. Rowan with a big trash can shot over Reigns while talking trash. Rowan plays to the fans as they also talk trash to him. Reigns fights back, knocks Rowan over the barrier to the ringside area. Reigns follows and hits big drive-by, sending Rowan into the ring post. Reigns takes apart one of the announce tables. Now as fans pop. Rowan runs over and launches himself at Reigns, leveling him in front of the announce table. Rowan brings him back into the ring and works Reigns over. Rowan with a boot to the face. Rowan sends Rowan into the corner and puts the boot to his head. Rowan slams Reigns and stands over him. Rowan drops an elbow and then a splash in the middle of the ring. Rowan goes to the second rope and waits. Rowan finally gets up and Rowan levels him with a corkscrew elbow for a close 2 count. Rowan runs and kicks Reigns, yelling at him to stay down. We're getting the We Want Tables chat. What do they think this is? Hey, Bubba, get the tables. Rowan with another running kick to that gut. Rowan with more offense and a close 2 count in the middle of the ring. Rowan shows frustration now. Rowan misses the clothesline and Reigns sends him over the top, but he lands on his feet. Rowan grabs Reigns' leg and pulls him to the floor. Then sends him into the ring post. Rowan takes part of the ringside LED board off. Rowan then slams Reigns face first into the exposed part of the apron. Then launches himself at him. Rowan brings Reigns back into for a 2 count. Rowan shows frustration again and argues with the referee. Rowan grabs half of the steps again and brings him back into the ring. Rowan waits for Reigns to get back up. Reigns ducks the stairs shot and is barely able to scoop Rowan up for a small drop. Rowan kicks out at 2. Rowan charges but misses in the corner. Reigns takes the stairs and drops Rowan with a shot to the face. Reigns with a Superman punch for a close 2 count. Reigns rolls to the floor and leaps off of another set of ring steps. Flies at Rowan with a Superman punch, but Rowan catches him in midair with ease. Powerbombs him through an announce table for a big bump. Rowan brings Reigns back in the ring, and Reigns somehow kicks out right before the 3 count. Rowan can't believe it. Rowan brings Reigns out into the timekeeper's area. Rowan with ring bell shot to the back of the neck as he fights Reigns back into the crowd. They fight over to the production area, and Rowan keeping control. Reigns blocks a shot into a production case and fights back with strikes to Rowan. Rowan blocks a shot and uses the iron claw to drive Reigns down onto a production table. Rowan talks some trash and scoops Rowan up on his shoulders. Rowan carries Reigns over and drops him on the stage. Rowan grabs the gym camera like he did from Raw. Reigns grabs a piece of the production equipment and rocks Rowan with it. Reigns grabs the gym camera and this time uses it on Rowan, sending it into him. Deja vu. Reigns with another shot to the face with the gym camera. Reigns charges and nails a Superman punch, knocking Rowan down the ramp. Reigns goes back to the stage and runs down the length of the ramp for a big spear, but Luke Harper appears out of nowhere with a big boot to Reigns' face. Harper and Rowan embrace at ringside. Heck, was he under the ring? All I saw was he was at ringside. Harper and Rowan bring Reigns into the ring, continue to destroy him after taking him out of ringside. After all, it's no DQ match. Rowan delivers another iron claw and covers Reigns for the pin and a win. After the match, the Bludgeon Brothers stand tall over Reigns as the music hits. We go to replays. Reigns recovers in the ring as Rowan and Harper look on from the stage. Seth is backstage with Charlie Caruso. He's not worried about Braun Strowman and says the title loss earlier was both of their faults. Rollins goes on and is confident about retaining his title in the main event, which is up next. We go to the ring for tonight's main event. Out first comes Braun, and Seth was out next. Former ring introductions from Mike Rome. Bell rings, Strowman runs over Rollins with a shoulder. Strowman with more big moves. Rollins sides out with a power slam attempt, and it goes for the knee from behind. Rollins keeps going for the leg, but Strowman blocks. Rollins with a pair of super kicks and a third to bring him down. Rollins goes to the top and hits a big frog splash, but Strowman kicks out before one. Rollins is shocked. Strowman continues to dominate and talk trash. Strowman misses and Rollins counters. Rollins springboards in and barely connects with a knee. He does the same move and brings Strowman down to one knee. Rollins goes to the top, but Strowman catches him in mid-move and clubs him to the mat. Strowman runs around the ring and floors Rollins on the outside. Strowman brings him back in the ring, but Rollins rolls back out for a breather. Strowman runs around the ring and levels Rollins with a big shoulder. Strowman launches Rollins into the bear and rolls him back in. Rollins ends up sending Strowman flying over the German announce table with a big shot. Strowman gets up, but nails a suicide dive, sending Strowman into the edge of the table. Rollins goes for another dive and sends Strowman back into what was left of the table. Rollins goes for another dive, but Strowman fights. Rollins ends up placing Strowman on the Spanish announce table. Rollins goes up top, but Strowman runs back up and cuts him off. Strowman climbs up top, but Rollins climbs up with him. Strowman sits down on top and shoves Rollins to the mat. Strowman is bleeding from his face. Strowman stands up on the top and leaps, nailing a huge splash on Rollins. Strowman clutches his knee and sells an injury. Strowman covers for a 2 count. We get a replay of Strowman's huge top rope splash. Strowman stumbles up and scoops Rollins, but Rollins turns that into a sleeper hold. Strowman fades and Rollins brings him down to his knee. Strowman overpowers and sends Rollins to the mat. Rollins comes right back with a stomp, but Strowman kicks out at 1. Rollins still can't believe it. Strowman kicks out so easy. Rollins comes right back with a second stomp, but Strowman kicks out at 2. Rollins is surprised again. Rollins goes for a third stomp and nails it. Fans boo as Rollins covers again, but Strowman kicks out at 2 again. Rollins goes for another stomp, but Strowman counters and scoops him up for his running power slam. Strowman's knees goes out during the power slam. Rollins takes advantage and counters and then nails a pedigree in the middle of the ring. Rollins immediately follows up with another stomp and covers to retain. After the match, Rollins stands tall with his title and his music hits. We go to replays. Rollins holds the title up on the stage. Pay-per-view is about to go off when the lights go out. The Fiend Bray Wyatt's here. We see the Fiend holding Rollins on the stage. The Fiend drops Rollins with Sister Abigail on stage as the lights flicker back and forth on him. The lights go out. After the Sister Abigail, it comes back on and we see Wyatt holding Rollins. The lights start flickering again, and the Fiend brings Rollins back down with a mandible claw. Wyatt screams and laughs as the lights go back out. Clash of Champions goes off the air with the lights out. And Wyatt left, blaring across the arena. And that concludes my results for Clash of Champions. Thanks again. Peace out. Sweetie, where will I be? If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.